Everybody talks about getting new clients, but nobody really talks about the fact that scaling is not about acquisition, it's about retention. So let's talk about why keeping clients happy is the key to building a sustainable, scalable business. Because if you are constantly on the hamster wheel of having to bring in new clients, you're going to hate your business. Yes, acquiring and bringing in new clients is definitely important for business, but it's not the main way that you should be generating revenue. Focusing on retention has helped us grow annual recurring revenue by 50% without chasing new clients every single month. Yes, we still have new clients signing every single month. We have new applications coming in every single day. But because we have all of these different systems within our business dialed, not only acquisition, but also retention, we're able to grow sustainably and scale very quickly towards $10 million a year. One client in particular that I work with specifically really worked on dialing in her client retention by improving her onboarding and her support systems. It wasn't like she was doing bad. Her clients loved her and getting very good results. But the thing is that we were able to extend her average customer lifetime value or client lifetime value by 6 months. That added at least a minimum of $100,000 in annual revenue with zero extra marketing. So let's talk about what this looks like. What a lot of people do is they're, number one, constantly chasing new clients to try and hit their revenue goals. They're two, feeling like retention is completely out of their control. And three, losing clients due to preventable issues like poor communication and unclear deliverables. The thing is that you are going to have clients churn. In any business, you're going to have churn. You're going to have people who don't fulfill their contracts. You're going to have people who don't show up, don't put in the work. What I want you to do is release the fact that you are trying to control your retention and control those metrics and then control the success of your clients. And instead, I want you to make sure that you have checked every box, that you have done everything that you could possibly do for your clients within reason. When we're looking at retention, of course, it's important to know that this is a 50-50 partnership. It's 50% on your client to show up, do the work, come to the calls, consume the modules, and do the things that you're telling them to do and implement it correctly. However, there is another 50%, which is the burden is on you as the coach, consultant, mentor to actually provide the things that you are promising in your marketing. The thing is that there are some very avoidable mistakes, and these are things that I've learned the hard way. I've seen clients learn the hard way. And so there's some things that are very avoidable that are probably eating into your retention and therefore the revenue that you could be generating without constantly being on the hamster wheel of bringing in new clients that you could probably go and fix today. So let's get into it. Number one, it's so important to remember that onboarding sets the tone of the entire client relationship. A smooth onboarding process is going to build trust and really set clear expectations. We reduced churn by 20% by introducing an onboarding guide that answered all of the FAQs that we were typically going back and forth answering right up front. So then people didn't feel like they had to ask the question. People didn't feel like there was any gap or any stone left unturned that they didn't know. We put that onboarding guide into the Slack channels when everyone joins. They also get a copy of it in their portal as well as in a welcome email. And what that does is it answers all of the questions and quells a lot of those fears that people are going to have. Highly recommend reading the book. It's called Never Lose a Customer Again. And it talks about how a lot of people tend to leave their clients, leave them wanting after they have passed a certain level of acquisition. So once they've signed the contract, then a lot of times the onboarding experience leaves a lot to be desired. And the thing is that if you can anticipate your clients' needs, fears, desires, then you are going to have a much better client experience and you're going to have much higher retention, which is going to turn into more money for you. This is the same reason why if you are able to anticipate your audience's needs, your content is going to perform a lot better. There's a lot of psychology and a lot of studies that have been done to support the fact that if people feel like their needs are being anticipated, they're going to feel more taken care of, they're going to feel a deeper connection to you, and it's going to foster a sense of trust and connection. The next thing is ongoing support and communication. Something that we were doing before was we had a policy for every single CSM to check in with every single client 3 times a week in Slack. And what was happening was people were reaching out without any sort of intention. It was just, hey, I'm just checking in. Hey, where are we at? hey, what are you doing, right? Instead of reaching out with intention. So when we onboarded our new client success manager, and she's since moved into a COO role with us, one of the biggest things that she stressed in our client experience was the fact that if we are reaching out, if we are doing these check-ins, it needs to be a check-in with intention. So you're never just reaching out, you're never just checking in. It's, hey, I was looking at XYZ and I think that we should do this. Or, hey, I wanted to see your status on XYZ. Where can I jump in and help? And so being a little bit more proactive, and literally it takes the same amount of time to send the message, but just changing the way that you are framing that message is going to make all of the difference. The next thing is really creating a wowing experience and going beyond what is expected. There's a lot of neuromarketing and psychology to support the fact that when you can surprise and delight your people with a couple little extras and going above and beyond of what they were expecting, then it's going to build so much rapport, so much trust, and so much connection. So some people send a handwritten thank you note with every single renewal. Some people really like to send out client gift boxes, right? We've done those things, and it's not that it's bad, but what I found to be the most helpful is to actually have little bonuses that are things that people can use that are directly related to the things that they're learning in the program. So if they were expecting to learn XYZ about creating content, sending out an email that's like, hey, here's this little bonus for you. I know that you're learning this right now. Here's a template where you can just take and install and dive right into what you're doing. Little things like that where it's actually moving the needle for them means so much more and people care so much more about it and really rave about that, as opposed to just getting flowers or a gift box in the mail. Now, the next thing that is obvious, but a lot of people don't really talk about or know how to do, is upselling and extending. Retention is not just about keeping clients, it's about growing their lifetime value. And when I say that, I don't mean their lifetime value in terms of how much they're paying you. I mean the amount of value that you provide them over the lifetime of the client experience. So one, this looks like having a cyclical offer suite where you always have somewhere for people to go so that you're not costing yourself money. And it's important for you to have additional services or higher level programs potentially that will allow them to deepen their transformation and keep them engaged and go deeper into the result that they were looking for. Something else that we've started implementing is quarterly reviews, and this has jumped our retention rates a lot because even if we're checking in on a daily basis, it's really easy to get lost in the details. And so with doing a quarterly review where we're able to sit down with the client, look at their metrics, look at their stats, look at the exact things that they were wanting to learn or check off or accomplish, and we can show them the exact amount of progress that they've made or the things that they've already checked off and move them forward in that relationship, a lot more advantageous than just doing daily check-ins where you're constantly working on things, but there's no big picture reverse engineering of their success. So let's talk about why this works, right? People are going to stay loyal. It goes back to that norm of reciprocity. People stay loyal when they feel heard, valued, and supported. And so retaining clients, is obviously a lot more cost effective than acquiring new ones, and it's going to allow you to scale more profitably. So what I would do is I would review your client retention process and identify one area to improve. Do you constantly have questions about one specific thing in your onboarding process? Change it. Create an onboarding guide. Do something that will answer and anticipate those needs. Do you constantly have questions about one specific thing or people asking for recommendations on something throughout the program? Create something for them and surprise and delight those people. Send it out to them as a little gift. So look at your onboarding, look at your communication, look at creating that wow factor, and think about one thing that you could implement or change this week, because you don't need to rework and redo your entire client experience process when you can tweak just one or two little things that will have literally thousands of dollars of impact in your business. So what does this look like? One, you're going to see a higher lifetime value per client. Two, you're going to see more referrals and renewals, and you're going to be reducing the pressure to constantly be finding new clients, as well as stronger client relationships and feedback loops. Seriously, what I have learned in scaling a multiple seven-figure business is that it's never the big things, it's never a total overhaul that needs to happen. It's the little teeny tiny tweaks that would honestly take you 30 seconds to change that are going to make so much impact, literally thousands of dollars of impact in your business. If this was helpful for you, be sure to subscribe to the channel, leave any questions that you have as a comment down below. And if you're somebody who's not really sure what to change, but your business just isn't doing what you want it to do, book in a complimentary gap assessment with our team. The link will be down below. They'll do a preliminary audit of your social media, your offer suite, your client experience, your delivery systems, and they'll help you map out action steps and help you know where to focus to actually move the needle in your business. As always, my DMs are always open. You can connect with me on Instagram at Kenda Laney. I'm always here to chat. See you in the next video. Bye.